My guest on Dan's Talks this week is Lisa Michne, the director of the Hampton Library. And I want to start out by asking you about why it's not called the Bridgehampton Library, or don't you know? It's always been that. It was never the only library, so it must be a little confusing to people.
It is confusing sometimes to people because I think it was the Hampton Library before it was the Hamptons. Now everything is all about the Hamptons, but at the time, which was over 100 years ago, for some reason it was named the Hampton Library, as far as I know. I could also do some research and get back to you on that, but
Has there been ever been any conversation to possibly change it to make it Bridgehampton Library?
not since I've been here. We have not had that conversation.
How long have you been the director then?
I started May 1st this year.
Oh,
Mhm.
you've inherited, of course you know this, you've inherited a remarkable tradition, which is the Fridays at 5. And you should tell some of the listeners about this.
Right. Well, Fridays at 5, I think we just celebrated our 38th year, I believe, of Fridays at 5, which is run by our Friends of the Hampton Library group, which is a volunteer nonprofit group of wonderful people. We love our friends. They plan Fridays at 5, they get the authors, and they always have a wonderful lineup, and it is a fundraising benefit for the library. We're also happy to make new friends. If anyone is interested in joining our friends group, let us know. They're very busy working for the lineup for 2023. I can't give anything away. It's a secret so far. And they're actually meeting today, but yes, Fridays at 5, we've had some amazing authors, and we had a wonderful season for 2022. And so happy to be back in person in our beautiful back lawn, which is perfect for Fridays at 5. So we're very excited about 2023.
Well, I think I was here and probably attended the very first one we had, which was even before the additions were built. And
do you remember who the authors were?
No, I don't. But I think we had people like George Plimpton. Had maybe even James Jones. I don't know if he was around at that time, or Irwin Shaw. In any case, they were something that a lot of people looked forward to, because at that time, particularly in Bridgehampton, the community was largely a farming town, which was surrounded by farms. And as I've noted myself in the past, we had 5 gas stations right in the middle of town. We had them in I think 2 of them right on the facing the monument at one point.
I remember, because I grew up here, and
Yes.
our house was the only house on the road, which was Hildreth Road at the time, which was surrounded by potato farms.
Yes, and so having this cultural group come every Friday during the summer, I think they had 10 of them or 8 of them during July and August. And every week there would be a new author who would get up and speak, usually hilariously, and talk about his book and about writing and what he wanted to accomplish and so forth and so on. It was jammed with people from the city, which created quite a contrast to the rest of the community at the time, and was I think at that time we had the Benson Gallery, and it was really a very special literary place. And then I think the Steeles, you probably remember this, when the Steeles, the husband and wife, donated a great deal of money, and they redid the library, and then they redid it again. And so the heart of it, of course, was the library itself, and and all the books, and now even I'm not sure, but I think I know inside the library you can look out to that back lawn, which is a wonderful,
Yes.
which was sacred ground.
Still is.
Who
Still
did
is.
we have in 2022 speaking that you
In
recall?
2022, we had, I knew you were going to ask me, so we had Kati Martin, we had Fiona Davis, Hama Abedin, Michael Clinton, Bill Boggs, and Zibby Owens and Jane Rosen.
Oh, that's a great group.
Mhm.
Bill Boggs is always funny.
Yes, yeah. Our friends do a wonderful job with connecting with these authors, and it's going to be great. 2023.
I have a hunch that the Friends were created to avoid, it would be like the Academy Awards having a separate group so that the people at the library wouldn't be harassed from writers who wanted to join this elite group of speakers.
Well, we love writers, and we wouldn't look at it as harassment, but and many libraries do have friends groups that raise money for the library. So yeah, happy to talk to writers.
What are some of the programs that go on in the off season, and particularly
Right,
now?
and we don't even consider it off season anymore, just because we're busy really all year round, and we have programs for all ages, babies through seniors. We have children's programs pretty close to every single day of the week with our wonderful children's librarians. So they come in, and the children come in, and we have, I'm just looking at our newly published link newsletter, which all PO box holders should have received. But our children, we have Zumbini, we have rhyme time, we have sing-alongs, babies and books from ages birth to 15 months. So it's you can be on the way home from the hospital, you had your baby, come on in and we'll read you some books. We have Saturday story times, and we also have lots of special programs. We also have programs for what we call Bridge Kids, just dropped my paper, which is what some people might call tweens, but it's grades ages 8 to 12. And then we have our young adult programs with fun special events. We have after hours movie nights. We have an anime club. We have just fun things to do, make a mason jar snow globe or make some hand warmers. Those are some of our young adult programs. And we have a Mindcraft club for our Bridge kids. It's just jam-packed. We also have family programs, and we have many adult programs as well. We have our philosophy group, our great books with Jill. We have a new mystery book club, which I love this title, Bottle of Red and a Character's Dead, Mystery Book Club, which meets once a month at Almond Restaurant. And we love our scary mysteries, led by Bridget, one of our librarians. And we also have language programs, but I'm stopping myself because all of our programs are now free for all. There's no fees for any programs, including our language programs, where you can learn Spanish, French, and also ESL beginner and intermediate classes. And also, tech classes. We have a study room for during college exams, genealogy workshops. We have our wonderful Tai Chi class with John Turnbull every Thursday. Come on in and relax in Tai Chi. We also have our discussion groups, our current affairs group, which is a wonderful group talking about the role of the United States in the world. You might have a little homework with that one. Sometimes there's some required reading for that, but just very animated, wonderful, thoughtful discussions. We are also starting up our memoir writing group again, and also knitting. come on in, join our knitting circle. It's just jam-packed with things. We're also starting a winter reading club for ages 8 and up, and it's a winter bingo. Now, it's not literally gambling, but you just sign up, and it's just encouraging everyone to read, because we're all about literacy and community. So on our website, or stop in, sign up for our winter reading bingo, because you might win a prize. There's prizes involved.
Like what?
Well, I don't want to give it away, but it's raffle baskets, and come sign up. Then you'll find out what the prizes are. But we're just super busy with a wonderful staff. And of course, we have our book collections and our DVDs and our books on CD and all of our 24/7 programs through our website, which is just research. And we now have something new where you can troubleshoot through a search engine if you're having car trouble. It's just amazing. A lot of this is coming through the Suffolk Cooperative Library System, which, is a consortium that we work with together so that we can have tons of databases and things like that. Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention is that our art gallery is very active now, and we're running art shows of local working artists and having openings. Right now we have Heidi Rain's show, and we'll be having another show for Black History Month with, hopefully, Michael Butler. So we're just really want to include the community. We're all about collaborating with local organizations in the community. We had our Latin dance night at the community house in September, which was free for all, thanks to our underwriting by Dayton Ritz and Osborne. And of course, our wonderful Halloween parade, where all of the local businesses give out treats. And we worked with the Bridgehampton Museum, who had a very scary, fun event happening at the end of the parade with an actual, well, he called himself Beelzebub, but he was in the blacksmith shop creating, I'm not sure, a pitchfork or something. But and our open house, where we had Santa, thanks to the Bridgehampton Lions Club. Starbucks donated things, and we just, in the Bridgehampton School. So we are all about really collaborating with local organizations and other libraries too. So if you're interested and want to talk, stop in and we'll work together.
Well, these are wonderful programs that you have, and I'm just amazed at the scope of it.
I could go on and on, but I thought maybe you might have another question for me. So.
I did. You mentioned you had grown up here, and I thought to ask you about some of the things you remember from when you were growing up in Bridgehampton. Where did you go to school? And tell me a little bit about yourself. I know your family or some of the people in it. How did you come up and get connected to this operation, so to speak?
Well, my mother read to us every night. We had library cards, and we were just active library users. I would ride my bike. My father and grandfather built a house on Hildreth Road, which is now Audubon. And I would ride my bike to the library, and Connie Clark was the director at the time. And the wonderful Ruth Muller was at the circulation desk. And it really, between being read to as a child and the use of the library is what, gave me the love of books and literature and helped me on my way to becoming a librarian. And one summer, there was a volunteer from New York City named Alice Brown who asked me and 2 other young girls, we were probably 10. It was myself, Joy Hughes, and Connie White, if we would like to start a story time. So the 3 of us volunteered. We took a blanket out onto the back lawn, and we sat down with small children, and we read stories to them. And I've heard from a number of people about how wonderful it was growing up here and their interactions with the library. And especially since I've come back, it's just been so heartwarming to hear these stories about their experiences here in this library, and also from people that knew my family here growing up. But I just always loved this place. And so when the opportunity came for the directorship, I thought,
Now, what did you study library to become?
Yes. Yes, I got my master's at Queens College Graduate School of Library and Information Sciences. And I worked at East Hampton Library and had a wonderful experience there for many, many years. And I had worked in virtually every department, finishing up creating a young adult space that's thriving there now for teenagers. And so I felt that all of those experiences there, I had worked in children's and the history room and reference and young adult. So I felt that would help me here in this new role, because I am a first-time director here.
What have you done prior to this work-wise? Were you out of the area for a long time?
I was out of the area for a while. I don't want to give it away, but a few decades ago, and I did some teaching and some music teaching, and then I came back here and joined Library World. I also helped create a library at SOFO, the South Fork Natural History Museum, which is there to go in that wonderful local organization as well.
Are there any new plans for new things that might be coming up that you haven't put into place yet?
Well, yes, but I don't want to give it all away right now, but there's a couple smaller things. One is I started a recorder consort. So if anyone is in love with the Baroque period, join us this Sunday, 4:00. If you play, bring your music stand. We're also starting a Voices series, which is a quarterly series where we're bringing in people of local interest who might, which we want people to come in and heat, just on topics and things that I'm just looking at. So our Voices for December, and each quarter we will do, so we have, and this ties into Black History Month, because Voices is really a talk series. So it's bringing people together, engaging and talking together for all segments of the community, because it is a diverse community in many, many ways. People don't think of Bridgehampton that way, again, because it's the whole Hamptons thing, but it is a diverse community in many, many ways. So we have someone coming in, Brenda Simmons, who's the founder of the Southampton African American Museum, to talk about joy. And the title is called Black Joy, but it's really about intentional acts of kindness and love, and discussing Black history. So that is that's part of the new series that I'm introducing, along with all this other good stuff.
How do you get access to that?
Well, how to sign up for programs? You can sign up on our website,
yes,
hamptonlibrary.org, or just give us a call, stop in. That program is a Zoom program, and we are still doing some programs on Zoom. Some people are still more comfortable that way, or we're doing hybrids and in person as well. But yeah, if you just go to myhamptonlibrary.org, and then you go to whichever age group, adult programs or adults, children, and then the calendar will enable you to sign up for these things. Please come.
Thank you for being on the podcast and telling us about the activities of the library, which are just stunning. And I go there, and I go there from time to time, and sit and look out. So it's so beautiful when you're in
It
there.
is
It's a
beautiful.
beautiful place.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place also just to come relax, hang out. You know, we have little spots where you can be quiet or meet your neighbors. And we want your paper, Dan. Somehow we haven't been getting it lately. Just putting it out there.
I'll arrange for that. I'll arrange for that to happen. Well, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Dan.
Sure. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Come to the library.
Okay.